Hey guys, good morning and welcome to another episode of Seriously Fast Media. Of course, I'm your host, Tom. I want to thank you guys for showing up and checking out the video. About 11 months ago, I did a video which were my 5 way too early predictions going into 2022. How did I do? I did that, was it just after the Daytona 500, I believe? I think it was just after the Daytona 500. So these were way too early predictions. And did I get anything right? Was I spot on anything, or was I just way off? That's gonna bug me. Anyways, so before we get started, make sure you guys check out our new supporter, and that is NordVPN. NordVPN is an online security tool. It's the fastest, safest way to surf the internet, and you can get one of our very special deals for your first 2 years of NordVPN service. Just use our link in the the description box below. Anywho, so what did I do? Was I spot on or was I way off? Let's see. The first one was talking about Brad, big bad Brad from right here in Michigan. Well, I said because Brad had a 1-year contract in 2021, he wasn't coming back to Penske. In fact, I thought he was starting his own race team. He was going to race for himself. And you know what? That turned out to be half true. Big bad Brad from Rochester Hills, Michigan. Brad is now a part owner of Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. So I guess we get to get rid of this hat. Maybe not necessarily get rid of it, it'll go in a box over there in the corner. Well, Brad, obviously, I said he'd go to BKR. I knew that after he closed his Truck Series team down several years ago, and he said he wanted to concentrate on winning another championship and an eventual Cup Series team, he would bring back BKR, Brad Keselowski Racing. And you know what? He didn't do that, but he does have his name on the owner board of a Cup Series team. So I consider that one a 50-50. I think we got that about 50% accurate. He wasn't coming back. He was going to do his own thing. And you know what? He didn't come back, and he's kind of doing his own thing. So that's 50-50. Number 4 was Matt DiBenedetto will not be returning to the 21 car. Well, we all knew, but at the time I did that video, it was just starting to come out that he wasn't coming back to the 21. It wasn't 100% set in stone official. Actually, it may have been. I don't recall. I watched the video last night that I did a year ago, but I didn't exactly put that in the video, so I apologize. Anywho, so I assumed he was going to go to the 2 car. I figured, he had a good performance in 2020. A great, strong performance in 2021 was going to be his shoe-in to get that 2 car to replace Brad Keselowski. Obviously, this one being accurate meant we were pending the first one being accurate. First one was accurate. Brad didn't go back to the 2, but it was way off. Matt DiBenedetto is not even in the Cup Series. Harrison Burton has replaced him in the 21. And Austin Cindric took the 2 car. So that is a 100% fail. I was way wrong at that one. His 2021 season was not that impressive. Number 3, Denny Hamlin may lose FedEx as a full-time sponsor. Now, all these were my way too early 2022 predictions. Did I say it was going to be the 2022 season or going into the 2022? That I didn't specify, so we're a little open-ended here. But this one I was correct on. I said, now, does that necessarily mean they're going to cease to sponsor 5 races or half the races? I don't know. I couldn't foresee it back then, but I was pretty accurate. I was pretty drop dead on accurate. 5 races in 2021. They did not sponsor. FedEx did not sponsor Denny Hamlin. He was one of the last seasoned veteran drivers that ran with one sponsor his whole career. And Denny no longer can say that. Last year, he had 5 races. I called that one pretty accurately. He had 5 races run by OfferPad, Sport Clips, and Craftsman. He hasn't had that happen before. So in 2020, he did run one non-FedEx paint scheme, and that was at Talladega, the Drive for Change National Civil Rights Museum car. But that is a museum that is extremely well funded and supported by FedEx. So that car was supported by FedEx nonetheless. It didn't have that FedEx logo wrapped around it, but FedEx sponsored the car. So I was almost 100% spot on that one. It's a shame to see it, but it is good to see more sponsors coming into the sport. Personally, I'm growing on the idea of drivers having multiple sponsors, as long as they obviously can keep the tires rolling and the engines pumping. It just kind of mixes it up a little bit. I grew up in the era of Jeff Gordon running DuPont and, Tony Stewart and Home Depot and Dale in the, Dale in the BF Goodrich. I mean, it has changed. But I do like the idea of having multiple sponsors. It just brings a little variation. Love it or hate what I had to say about that one. RCR to change manufacturers. I had a very, very good friend of mine who works for TRD. I don't know if he still does. I haven't talked to him in a while. Worked for TRD, and he worked in the racing division, or group or crew, or whatever you want to call it. And it even came a rumor around RCR. Hell, Ty Dillon ran for Joe Gibbs Racing in Xfinity cars and the Gaunt Brothers and Toyotas in 2021. He had the sponsorship that you see on his brother's car. A lot of the same sponsorship. And it was one of those things where did Grandpa put his foot in and say, hey, I'm going to help you. You're going to get a car this year. You're going to get a race car this season. Or was that more of, here, let's tip our toes into Toyota? Well, I said going into 2022 with the next gen car, Toyota was going to steal a Chevy team. Toyota said that they wanted to steal a big storied Chevrolet team and that they were this close to doing it. I assumed this was it. Obviously, 100% dead wrong. Going into 2022, RCR is still that storied Chevrolet team. And last but not least, and this one, I was wrong. I'll just give you that heads up. Ford releases the next generation Mustang as the next gen car. For those of you guys who don't remember, 2016, Toyota came out with their new, boldly redesigned Toyota Camry. And when they first released it, it was a NASCAR Cup car. That was their first show of the Camry. I thought Ford would do that. They've always kind of jumped out and they drove the current Mustang car, the outgoing Mustang car, down Telegraph Road while I was at work to go to Ford World Headquarters from the Ford Mustang production facility, or maybe not Telegraph. They drove it down whatever street I worked down at the time. I thought that was really cool. I thought Ford was going to do that again, maybe take a cue from Toyota. But Ford has not even released the next generation Mustang. That'll be 23, 24. So obviously I'm very wrong with that one. They pushed that one back. It seemed like they were coming out with it. Maybe what they meant by the next gen Mustang coming out, or the next Mustang coming out, was the Mach-E, the electric crossover. That is out. That is available. So, guys, I was a little off on 3 of these and about half off on one, and I was dead right on the other. You win some, you lose some. Those are my opinions, guys, not yours. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you get notified. You can see the original video from last year up here somewhere earlier in the video. And it might be in the link right here. So check it out. Make sure to hit that subscribe. And make sure, if you are nervous about other people seeing your online activities, click that link in the description box. Sign up. for NordVPN.